Hey guys, today I did a hair tutorial, and in this one I'm going to show you how to do the hairstyle that I'm wearing right now. It's kind of a half up, kind of like waves, and it's very, very easy. It's very like kind of unfussy. It's kind of messy in the back, which I like, and all you need is a flat iron. This one is a GHD. It's from beautychoice.com. And in this video, I'm also going to kind of review this a little bit. I know that you guys have probably seen a lot on this, and you've probably heard of them before, seen other reviews. So as I use it, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about it. First off, I am going to say that if you do know anything about these, you probably know that they do have a reputation for being kind of pricey. So I thought about you guys, and beautychoice.com has designed something for my viewers. The details are over in the sidebar, so definitely look over there first, and you can check that out. There's also going to be a link to beautychoice.com where you can find the tools that I used, or the one hair tool that I used. So the deal for you guys is that if you go to beautychoice.com and buy the GHD, you also get the high tourmaline SST hair dryer, which I've been using, and I love it. It actually is really, really cool. It dries your hair super fast. It is like a $98 value, I believe. So this is really, really amazing. They have them on the site, I believe, for $98. So it's really, really cool. So that's the little deal for you guys. There is a promo code, so definitely check that out as well. It's going to be listed all in the sidebar. I will say that, you know, obviously I do have very, very pinned straight hair with absolutely no natural curl to it at all. So to me it is important to use good things on my hair that isn't going to fry it out or make it look frazzled, or that's going to snag it. And in my day I have used quite a few brands of flat irons. I've used probably every single kind you could imagine. When I noticed that when I used them, even with my stick straight hair, you'd feel, you know what I mean? Like it was snagging. And this is unlike anything I've ever experienced. This one just glides straight through your hair, even if it's not completely brushed out. So I could imagine those of you that have, like, you know, frizzy hair that's very curly, when you try to straighten it, how that must feel. So if you want to see how to get this hairstyle, then keep watching. Alright, so with the GHD, you see that it has an on and off switch, and I'm going to flip it to on. You can hear it. Alright, so basically with a flat iron like this, I mean, okay, you look at my hair, it's naturally straight, it's naturally really fine. I don't really need something that, you know, you might think that I wouldn't really need something that's super heavy duty or really. See, it's already done. Like, that's how long it takes. It's super fast to heat up. Like, super hot. You know, I wouldn't really need something like that. But I prefer using something like this and just running it through my hair once and getting perfect results, rather than using some other type of straightener and cranking the heat way down, and then having to go over each section like a million times, just because that's going to cause so much damage. And you can see my hair. I mean, it's very healthy. I don't have any issues with like it frying out or anything. Something else about these is that they recover heat very fast. Whenever you're straightening your hair, each time you run through it, it's going to lose about 30 degrees of heat. And, you know, especially if you're going to work fast, you really need something that's going to recover heat quickly, which this one does. Alright, now whenever I curl my hair or anything, I like to do the bottom sections first. So I'm just going to kind of do this, like I'm taking my hair halfway up, but separate it into two sections. And just take your little clips and pin it up. Now you can see that my hair is very, very straight. It's definitely important to apply a heat protectant. Alright, now with a flat iron, creating waves is super simple. You can create tighter curls by, and I'm probably just going to do a few like as an example. But you can create tighter curls by clamping it, turning it at more of an angle, and then running it straight down, and you can see how it kind of made more of a corkscrew effect. And you can see the steam, that was just the heat product coming out. Right now for tighter curls, like over here, I clamped the hair like this, and then you can see that I turned it kind of almost completely around. You see that? Well, kind of halfway around. Now when you're doing waves, you're going to do less of a wrist movement. So instead of turning it all the way like that, you're going to clamp it and turn it about like that, so that it's flat like that. See what I mean? Alright, so you are going to grab a little piece, clamp it, turn it so that it's kind of flat, and bring it down. And you can see that you kind of made more of a wave rather than over here. You see how you have the corkscrew type thing? Over here you have more of a wave. Very simple. Okay, then I'm going to just keep going around, and you can kind of work in half sections. And I know that when you think of waves, you think of like people with long hair, you know, they can do anything, right? But when you have hair that's kind of my length, which I don't really consider it short anymore because it was very, very short before, I think that it is a little bit more tricky. So I kind of think that, you know, seeing that I can do it with a curling or a flat iron just kind of shows you that you can too if you have straighter or shorter hair. Alright, so just like that, it looks like I'm almost done with the lower half. You can see that when I curl my hair, it shrinks. But anyways, I'm going to just apply a very light spray of hairspray. And this is just some kind of guy at the drugstore. It's John Frieda Sheer Blonde. I really, really love this stuff. This is my favorite hairspray ever. Alright, so then you're going to take down one of the sides. And so just kind of give that a quick brush through. And I'm just going to work with one half. And I like to do the back half first, because if I get the front too curled and it starts, you know, sticking out a little bit more, it's harder to see the back. So just clip that up again. And then I like to work again from the back. You can kind of see this one I'm kind of doing sideways. If you really kind of want it to look more volumized, which in my case I need all the volume I can get, kind of make it go in different directions. So rather than always clamping them like this and turning them this way, clamp some and then curl them inward. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to clamp it and then I'm going to turn it inward like that. And then it just kind of makes it face this way. And then for the next one, you can turn it inward. Something else, to get as much volume as you can, clamp it closer to the scalp. Then I've got one more. You can see this one I'm starting closer to the scalp, and I'm going to turn this one backwards, or inward, or outward, I don't know. Back, I guess. Alright, I'm going to take down my last section. Now, when I get toward my face, I think that these are kind of like this is kind of the most important section. So what I'll do with this one is I will split it in half, work with the bottom section first. Alright, so take your section, clamp it, and turn it, and pull it slowly. You don't want to pull it too slow though, because you definitely don't want to like fry out your hair or whatever. You can kind of see how it made a pretty wave. When I get toward my face, I always like to turn the curl outward rather than inward. You'll see what I'm talking about. So clamp it. Oop, don't want to clamp the other curl. And then turn it outward just like that. And slowly move it down. And you can see my little wave. And spray it lightly again. It's not going to look just right now, but we will fix it in a minute. Okay, so when you get done with that, you are going to take down your last little section. When you get to these areas around your crown, or just kind of around where your part is, when you put it right here, you're going to really bring it up and turn it like that, and it's going to create some lift right at your roots. See how it kind of went through? That's not how you're going to leave it, obviously, but it's just kind of some volume. So let that cool before you start kind of messing it up. And then I'm going to separate this into two sections. Alright, and then again, when you get toward your face, you want to curl it away from your face. Just looks a little more flattering. Oops, I got some of the other one in there. Definitely don't let this linger on your hair too long. You want to kind of glide it out quickly. And again, let that kind of sit so that that volume can kind of set into your hair. I'm just going to work it through very quickly. And again, don't do anything to it, just let it sit. I know it looks crazy. So this half is all curled. I haven't styled it yet, so it's looking funky. You can see back here, it's really thick back there because my layers go up really high in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and take this down, do the same exact process I did over here as I did over here. I am going to show you how I do my bangs though on this side. and then we'll be all finished. Now I know I'm looking crazy right now, but I'm just going to let it all cool like this so that my roots are kind of puffy, and then I'm going to fix it in a minute. For your bangs, if you have any, spray some heat protectant on them because you don't want to fry your bangs, right? Then you're going to hold them like you would want them to fall naturally. Lift them straight up, and then curve it back really, really quickly. And then you can see that you kind of have a nice curve. It'll fall a little bit. And then now we can kind of fix the rest of this. Now, with this, you definitely don't want to brush it or anything. Since we're doing waves, you can kind of get away with running your fingers through it a little more than you would if we were going to do like more defined, like corkscrew curls. Alright, so when you get it like this, since I'm going to wear it kind of halfway, if you were going to wear it down, you could obviously do a little more with it. This isn't how I would like it to look if I was wearing it down. I'm just going to take a few bobby pins, and we're just going to kind of create a look like this to where it looks a little more volumized. So just grab a section of it, pull it back, take your bobby pin, put one of the bobby pins in place. You really shouldn't have to use two because the hair is kind of really volumized and stuff. Then you can kind of like just use just a little bit of spray. Then for this side, you can kind of separate your bangs if you want, or you can kind of bring them back and then they'll just kind of fall. But for this side, I kind of want the hair to kind of show a little bit behind it. I don't like that, you know. I don't want it to look so like pulled back. So just kind of take it back loosely and pin it into place. It's the whole point of this. You want your hair to look kind of natural. You don't want it to look super like, I think it looks better like this if there is a little bit of texture up here and it's not so perfect, you know. Lightly spray it again, and then you can kind of like tousle this part in the back a little bit. If you even want this to show up even more, you can add another pin or whatever. So what I like about this is that the bobby pins don't really make it look that fussy. Even if you look at it in the back, you can't really see what you've done, you know, because the bobby pins are really discreet. Obviously, if you have long hair, it would work too. But just to show you that if you have shorter hair, you can still pull off looks like this. I definitely don't have super short hair, but it is